Well, the liberals, the liberals they've changed the nature. You can't say baguette now. You can't say baguette. It's a dirty word.
Well, yeah. And again, this is how the Chinese government took control. Is they started controlling the way people describe bread, food in general, especially baguettes. I'm going to keep saying it.
China.
Baguette.
Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. China, look out.
Baguette.
Here come back. Baguette. You're not going to stop me. You want to call the cops? Go ahead.
Baguette.
But I've got a bunch of hammers and I got a bunch of baguettes. Let's see which one feels better on your head. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean by head there, and I'll tell you both. Nothing. When I was a kid, if you didn't, your baguette wasn't finished until you'd placed it on your head, and one of your pals hit it with a hammer and to smush it all together and create that baguette warp, which is supposed to be concave.
Like a soup bowl. Is murder illegal? I don't know.
Well, I mean, is illegal?
It's illegal.
They want to make illegal.
They want to make it where if you have to they want to make it where you can't defend your home.
They do. They want all of us to open our doors, open our windows, put a red carpet down, have an array of weapons, duct tape, harnesses, nooses. I don't know what they want. They want us to lay that out, and you know what? They want an extra. They want to make your house a wheelchair accessible in case some of the people coming in to invade your home aren't able to get up your steps. And that's what they're trying to do out there.
Here's a new one out of California. A man in a wheelchair is suing the homeowner because he couldn't get inside to steal his stuff because there's no wheelchair ramp.
He's winning the lawsuit.
He's winning, and it's big time winning. He's going to make $1 million.
Now, I think it would be fair to point out that this home invader, when he did try to traverse the steps, he did fall out of the wheelchair and he did fracture his wrist. So there was an injury involved. It's not to say that the man didn't injure himself, but I don't think that should give you recourse. The Supreme Court is going to be looking at this case next year. I know Governor Gavin Newsom is trying to create chairlifts for home invaders, the chairlift invader law. But yeah, it's out there. It's running amok out there.
It's insane. It's crazy. It's lunacy. I don't see it. The next election cycle, we're not going to see something like this again.
These guys, Johnny, where are you? Right? Are you allowed to say where you're at?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in Brooklyn, baby.
So you're doing like New York winter right now.
Sort of. You know what? I got to say this about New York winter. I mean, they love to talk a big talk here. It's nothing, baby.
Oh, Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, they
fucking
say...
Minnesota. Okay, here we go. What's the difference?
I'm getting cold. I'm wearing my puffy jacket when other people are wearing sweatshirts. I am freezing my ass off, but it's not nearly as cold. The other thing, it's also very pretty here. There's all kinds of restaurants. There's all kinds of stuff. So the cold's not a big deal. In Minnesota, if you live in a small town in Minnesota, well, there isn't shit to do. There's no hills. You're just looking out at flat, like frozen corn, and it's 20 below zero. That's a different kind of cold than when you're like walking around. There's like 9 of the best coffee shops in the world next to the best restaurants, and you like get to look at the river that's flowing. It's not frozen, no, all the stuff. It's all like it's not that cold here.
The moment you are walking through, and I'm sorry, I'm not from fucking Minnesota, and the winter I spent in New York was fucking brutal. But
it's the wind.
It's the wind.
The wind. The fucking wind
spikes you. It's thousands of tiny little fucking spikes being hammered into your fucking pores by demons. But the moment you walk in to the most beautiful coffee shop of all time, you feel like you're in the Emerald City or some shit. You go from that howling hell wind and when it snows, but underneath the snow is a nice fucking murky New York doom puddle of slushy, cold garbage water. And you've stepped in it. Your fucking pants are wet. But you walk into this heavenly fucking coffee shop and it's perfectly cozy and perfectly warm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It's the contrast is where
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty great. That's very nice. All that stuff is, I mean, it's just overwhelming. There's just every corner has something that's very, very good.
And
yeah.
you're there, and the reason you're there is really fucking cool. I mean, but are you feeling like homesick or isolated or lonely?
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's always weird to be not home, because it's like that thing where you can't. Like I haven't moved here. You know what I mean? It's like that when you feel like the in between state is always the weirdest state to be in.
Yeah.
Where you know you're leaving someplace. I'm not on vacation, and I'm not going to be here for that much longer. So you can't like settle in completely, but you also don't want to live out of a fucking backpack like you're camping. It's that weird transitory state that's super, just like very disorienting. You know, it's like very Also, I feel like I kind of realized this the other day, is because I grew up in Minnesota, which is considered the Midwest, and I think I realized that there's something about the East Coast that just fundamentally I can't kind of like get into it. Something about the way that people will like, you'll be walking and someone will kind of merge with you on the sidewalk and they'll be going the exact same speed as you right next to you.
Yeah.
And I just want to be like, oh, hey, how are you? But no one, you don't talk to the people. There's something weird about not talking to someone who is in your immediate area. It feels like it's like a threat or something. If you don't talk to the person, if you don't acknowledge them, it's so bizarre to me. I'll never get over that weird feeling of not. I always want to talk to people, like talk to strangers because they're so physically close. You're in
a hive. You're in a herd. It's a herd. You're like you're. What's the difference between you and when you see like drone shots of the migration of gazelle or something like that? You're in a fucking a vein, and it's not blood cells. It's people, and the people have trained themselves to ignore each other because over time. Do you know how exhausting it would be to try to carry on micro conversations with everyone you like ended up strolling with accidentally?
Totally.
Oh God, you would be fucking, and you would be robbed. You would, because as soon as that shit started happening, that would just be a new form of criminal that like sneaks in and
the
walks
conversation
next to you.
criminal.
Yeah, it opens you up for like you don't know what, so you have to like. Yeah, pretend not to notice. All of humanity teaches us to notice. How all the songs are about opening up to others and being with others, but you can't. It's viewed as it's suspicious. You're going to see people are going to think you're going to kill them if you were like, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, I just pretend to be like an idiot, someone who's like a simpleton, like an actual someone who can't get a driver's license kind of person. Sometimes I'll just be. Like a kind of guy who talks to dogs, not to humans. Just a real simpleton.
This is where augmented reality is going to be great. So that like you could you got your goggles on and you can decide what you're surrounded by. It doesn't have to be people. It could be dinosaurs, wolves. It could the bees. You could just make everyone else around you seem like bees swarming around you, so you don't even feel that sense of, man, that's somebody who's got a name. That's somebody who's got a life, just like me. I want to reach out, reach across this void, make contact.
I want to touch. I want to talk. I want to ask about some shoes or something like that. Or the dogs. What really gets me. Some people have like great, beautiful dogs, and you kind of feel like I want everyone to stop and be. Can we just talk about your dog for a few minutes here? But there's just no time to sit there and talk about the dog.
Don't fucking ask to pet someone's dog in New York.
I have done it a couple times, but you really have to kind of read out the situation